Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen. Ah, yes, Humbl. Humbl Project Search 3.0 is coming to bear, and also going to talk about blocks, why I'm buying blocks. So let's get into Humbl. First of all, I'm going to remember to wear my hat this time. That way it won't be an issue. All right, so let's talk about Humbl. All right, talks about Humbl announcing their Project Search 3, and Brian Foote announced their launch. He was actually at the Latin American Blockchain Accelerator Lab in Santiago, Chile, which you know that's where they're really trying to build up. Humbl is in Latin America. And the production of Search 3.0 is what I'm going to call it. One of the first modular blockchain-based Web3 search engines. It says it's already well underway on the building of the technology, which is expected to ship to the global market sometime in the first half of this year. It says the challenges of building a decentralized Web 3.0 that is still easily discoverable, well organized, and verifiable on blockchain for users, which is going to be the purpose of it. It's both groundbreaking and exciting, said Brian Foote. Said we view Search 3 as a simple discovery layer that provides verifiable blocks of information on top of Web 3. For example, if you want to verify an NFT, this is where obviously you'd be able to go. It says we want to quickly deliver users to both authenticate results and actionable transactions on top of the Web 3 blockchain economy. It's being spearheaded by the newly formed Humbl Blockchain Services in conjunction with the new company that they just bought that has a 35-person technology accelerator team in Mexico, as well as internal Humbl technology teams. So they're getting right on the ball, and understand they acquired this it was a few weeks ago, and Brian Foote retired a bunch of his preferred shares to do that, and a little bit of cash. And it says, in addition to delivering traditional Web 2.0 search functionality such as web, video, images, and news, which we're used to using, Search 3.0 will also deliver cross-chain NFT search functionality across blockchain projects such as Ethereum, Solana, and there they go with blocks, giving it a use case job, basically. And there it is again, verified by blocks. And we'll talk more about blocks in a minute. And it says they've already gotten the domain name of search3.com, where it plans to host its Search 3 consumer search engine. And they're in the process of filing patents. And Humbl actually just added a blog to their website. It's right up here on the right hand. Well, actually, let me get out of the way. It's right here, and this was just added, is my understanding. I like to be over on this side. Who knows why? And it talks about the very thing that they're doing, the Web 3.0 platform, etc. And here's where it talks about where that was Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. And it says Web 3 will be massive, fragmented, and decentralized. Therefore, we believe customers will require a simple set of front door Web 3 utilities such as Humbl Search Engine, use case layers such as Humbl Mobile Wallet, and the power of fully decentralized blockchain technology to verify, authenticate, and transact. And here you can see how it stacks with Web 3 Humbl verified by blocks. And this is kind of a big deal. I mean, they're really, they're going for the gold on this one. And like I said, I think this is a pretty big deal. This is going to take time. And that's one of the things about Humbl right now. It's really frustrating for folks because it has crashed so much. A lot of people don't have patience for it. And I understand that. I do. I'm going to go ahead and hold it. But let's take a look at blocks for a moment, and I'll tell you why I'm buying blocks. And I already pretty much answered that. And one frustrating thing is I can't put the Humbl app on this computer. It says not compatible with this device. And I went down to the bottom here and it says requires Mac OS 11.0, which I have, or later, and a Mac with Apple M1 chip. I don't have the M1 chip, I don't believe, in this computer, so that doesn't work. It works on my iPhone, and I'll show you that. And here's the simple little setup where you pick the amount of money. You can punch in the amount of money that you want to buy blocks in there, and you can either use a bank account or you can use your credit card, that's so much simpler than when it first started out. And I remember when blocks initially came out to purchase, which you could do, I think it was in October, it came out at 0.005. And here you can see blocks is now at 2.5 cents. Like I said, it came out at 0.005, which was a half of a penny. So it's gone up 500%. And let's take a look at the time frame on it. As you can see, it ran up to 5.5 cents at one point, and it has pulled back down. It got down to a low of 2 cents, and now it's sitting about 2.5, which I'm pretty comfortable with that as a buy. Like I said, I wish I could have bought it at the 0.005, but understand when this thing first came out, it wasn't a simple deal. It's not like it's set up now where you could buy it through the Humbl app real easy with a credit card or a bank account. You had to use, I think you had to use Ethereum, and I can't remember if Sunday Swap or one of the, might have been Pancake Swap, but you had to use Ethereum, and it was like, it cost like $300 to buy it at the time, as I recall. And I remember people on the Discord were having a lot of trouble with it. And like I said, it was, you had to already have the Ethereum, and I only had a certain amount. And by the time I would have spent what I had, I would have wound up paying probably several pennies for it. So it really wouldn't have saved me much money, and I would have overpaid at the time. So like I said, that's why I didn't buy it at the time. And one thing that's very important, I've been on that Discord a few times, don't ever say that Blocks is the same as Humbl. They're the same company. They get really upset. I didn't actually do that because I didn't really think about it. But some people did, and they get real upset, get real mad about it, because they are separate companies, even though they work together. Obviously, they're going to use Blocks for the verification and authentication of NFTs for Humbl, and it's the same people, but they are separate, and it's a decentralized company that was formed in like Wyoming, I think. It was one of the very first. So, like I said, they don't like you to say it's the same thing. And if you do, I think Brian Foote and Calvin White and a bunch of them, they fart in your general direction.
I fart in your general direction.
That's right. That's what happens. So anyway. Now, Humbl today is sitting at about 13 cents. It's been sitting down here. There is support at 11 cents. It hasn't dropped below that. And that support comes from back over a year ago, which is frustrating as crap. But anyway, that's where it's sitting. And I would be a buyer of Humbl. I am buying Blocks because I'm pretty comfortable right now picking some up, and I've been wanting to because it now has a really strong use case, and that's important when you're buying a cryptocurrency. But I'm not comfortable buying Humbl for one simple reason, even though it's pulled way down. And that was George Sharp bringing up the reverse split talk and saying that it was likely that would happen at some point. And he did say, you know, it would be a small reverse split. I don't know if there's such a thing, but one important thing is that the B shares would participate this time. They didn't the first time because theirs got multiplied by 10,000 the day after, and or the day before. I can't remember. I think the day after. And it took us a while to figure that one out. And this time, though, if there is a reverse split, those B shares will all be treated exactly as we are, which will be refreshing, let me assure you. Now, Humbl is currently sitting with 1.263 billion shares, and that's up from, they had 902 million back in August, and in January 4th they were at 1,066 billion. So they've gone up since August by about 350 million, and we know part of that is this. As you can see, they were planning on selling shares. Some of them are warrant shares, which another individual sells. I think that's forwardly, and they get everything over 20 cents, but the first 20 cents went to Humbl. So they were raising money, and then they were selling some of the B shares and some other shares to raise money. And the goal was to raise up to $39 million, and I think they probably got at least 25 million plus of that, maybe 30, which will be real useful for them. And it states there they're going to use it for acquisitions and working capital. They need the working capital, of course, because they're not a profitable company. And on top of that, they have been using them for acquisitions, obviously, and they're basically buying not only the businesses that they need to do like a web search 3.0, but also the revenue. They're basically buying revenue as well, like they did with the ticketing company that they bought, which was Tickery, I believe. So, and I don't have any problem with that at all. This is a brand new company. They need to raise money, and that's perfectly reasonable. So I'm just going to hold my Humbl, and there's no point in selling it right now. It's come down so much. I'm just going to kind of stick with it. I'm not buying only because I'm concerned about that reverse split. I wish I could buy. I would like to, and dollar cost average down quite a bit. And at some point I might, if I get comfortable, if I start seeing some more positive things like what they're doing with this Web 3.0. And I think that's pretty neat. But I am able to buy the Blocks, which I think will be, you know, I think that'll be helpful. They're so tied together, and it does have that great use case. working straight with Hmbl. So I can see a good use for it over time. All right, folks, and that's Hmbl today. I just wanted to cover the Project Search 3.0 and also talk about blocks a little bit. And I do like how they have that set up. That's pretty simple. It reminds me so much of Coinbase. If you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover Hmbl. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. And hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.